season. McGee on senior day knocks down his first three.
What a great sign for the Badgers. Only one of his last 11 from beyond the arc coming into this game. They've struggled from three. That's a great sign.
A DeMarco Dunn to the glass for an
And so what a big-time shot by him, but that's what the scouting report says to give him.
Janicki misfires, a rare miss, the first miss from distance for Wisconsin. Dillion in a hurry. Right back to Dunn, step back, and that's another three.
Gotta slide your feet.
Dunn hit the first bucket for the Nittany Lions and gets all the way home.
To get a college degree. I think that's what Coach told us, and that's just going to change his destiny.
Kamari McGee, game's high score, couldn't cash in there yet. I've talked to Coach a couple of times this year where he's mentioned that as his first compliment. Nice look up ahead to Dunn. Dillion, Niederhauser could not finish. Back up top to Dunn. Quick step, and two. Now they have to come back down one. Niederhauser back to Dillion. Dunn. Boy, what a game he is having.
But Tanjay's got to make an All-American play here over the next couple minutes.
Blackwell, Crown, missed it. Second chance, no. Niederhauser denial. Dunn already has 15. Wisely pulls it back out. Baldwin. Well, the patience has been impressive on this end for Penn State in the second half.
No question. I mean, when they don't turn it over, they get pretty good looks. And 14's been spectacular.
Dunn's managed to take its largest lead, which as of right now has been 6 points. They've been terrific from three. They've made 10 out of 17 so far. 6 to shoot. Dunn, spin. And he's got 20 points. Just I had jotted down here, had at least 2 blocks in the last 5 games. He has 5 today already.
Incredible timing. That's too open.
Dunn's got 23 big points. Started out this game just way behind in the rebound game, and now they have just 1 less.
They've been the tougher team for most of this second half and been able to get on the rim at both ends.
Another assist for Baldwin.
Well, Reese got away with a little shuffle there.
The help defense from Nick Kern. I mean, you could tell he knew the whole time that he wasn't giving that ball up.
Yep.
Dunn with the 3, and Penn State with that's going to solidly have them in the field. But Stephen Bartle, they have a ton of close losses. Their 7 losses are by an average of 3.5 points a game.
Yeah, that's an incredible stat, and consider that, and they're still a 5 seed. So that's how good this Maryland team has been all season long. And it's going to be fascinating to see if they get the double bye in the Big Ten tournament.
Again, the committee and Bubba Cunningham, the men's basketball chair, they'll start looking at things on a turnover. Dunn all the way.
What Maryland's doing now, they're going into the post. They're going to force Penn State to double team, put Penn State in rotation, and look for open threes.
And they've been sharing the basketball. 12 assists on 14 field goals. Yannick Conan Niederhauser thought he was pushed. He kept the ball. Good rotation. Dunn from 3. And Miguel ties it up with 42 apiece.
Oh, DeMarco Dunn.
All around the hips and the waist.
Dillion. Get inside for Conan Niederhauser. He's got a foot speed advantage. Dish out to Dunn. Step in, and the 2 is good. Remember,
Ciballo's open.
Galloway. Almost taken away by Baldwin, and it ends up with Dillion. Scooping it behind the Hicks in transition, and a good find underneath to Dunn.
Especially when he's playing against a guy, a 7-foot guy like Niederhauser.
14 for Mbako, 11, or rather 14 for Ballo, 11 for Mbako. Those 2 carrying the load again for Indiana against Penn State. Here's Dunn, turns the corner and high off the window. You see what they...
Valley with the win.
Yeah, and so, you know, we'll see if Penn State will respond here.
The timeout was called, and they immediately go Dunn's way in some point-blank opportunities. Mitchell Jr. not there from three-point land.
Well, good of Baldwin to get back into the play. An excellent job by Parker Fox making Baldwin miss that layup.
And Dunn is heating up here for Penn State.
Forcing him to make a decision. He's got to get activated for Minnesota to have some success.
And that surprises me because he was so confident in the clutch against USC and UCLA. Drew a key offensive foul call, hit a shot, and made the difference here for Minnesota.
That's right. Got all the way downhill. Something we haven't even seen him try this afternoon.
Here's Dunn with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Dunn, that's a power move.
Winners of 5 of 6 that followed a 5-game slide, and there's the live ball turnover. And no surprise, it's Baldwin with the swipe.
A couple steals per ball game, and his offense has struggled at times, but his defense, especially the production in terms of steals, has been outstanding.
Tough finish for DeMarco Dunn. Ulis with the shot clock down at 6. Over 2 defenders off the mark, and Penn State again with the rebound. In that department, it's 8-1. Dunn, as the rim was pulled, I think that would have counted.
The opponent right now, not the scoreboard. Forget about what's happened in the past. Just keep playing the way that we have, and don't let the past continue to haunt us.
Last 3 for Williams was his second. He's got 9 points in 9 minutes. So you got Baldwin out there with Kern, Dillion, Hicks, and Dunn. Dunn trips. The runner is good. And DeMarco Dunn.
You're not in bad position, but you have to be a little bit more aggressive on the closeout and force a Siegen to put the ball on the floor.
41 points for Penn State, most in the first half in league play this season. We have 2:32 left. Dunn for 3, nails it.
And how about the job? You can get something to him at the rim.
Royberg, no. Oregon fighting for the rebound, but Kern collects. If there's a guy to control pace, this is him. Ace Baldwin. Here's Kern, not a shooter. Dunn for 3. That's good.
Inside and try to take advantage, especially with Niederhauser on the bench. And that rim protection just not there for the Nittany Lions. And so far, Morgan's been able to take advantage.
Penn State shooting 66%. 8 to shoot. Dunn drives on Worcester and he scores. Breather for Nebraska. Big minutes for him. A lot of activity since the break. And here's Ace, the man from Baltimore. Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Big Ten. Touch pass. Dunn nails the triple.
So he knows that's not where he's going to shoot from. Nice find, Mason. Couldn't finish.
Mason's got to use the glass. Enza challenging him. You got to utilize that glass.
Gave it back to Dunn. Drills the
blocking ability by Niederhauser.
Penn State shooting 53% from the floor and 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. Dunn trying to drive all the way. Nobody stopped him. And DeMarco.
For Penn State on the perimeter, if they can find it.
Diallo for 3. Osabor's trying to burst through a couple of Nittany Lions. No foul call. Dillion racing into the front court. Dunn the trailer. Hits the 3. Penn State back up by 4. Timeout. Decided by double figures. It's Davis for 3. And they're back up by 4.
That's a great call by Danny Sprinkle to get Davis free on the baseline or the sideline. Excuse me.
Who checks the clock? He goes to the hoop. He got right around Mason.
Well, it's all about opportunity for SC. Here is a live ball takeaway for DeMarco Dunn on the step through and the finish. He's played well. Thomas comes to 2 feet. Could not talk the elbow jumper down. So both teams have hit a spell here in the closing minutes of our opening half.
Game started like it was going to be really high scoring.
Dunn under control and with some touch in the half. Numbers are astounding. 12 for 12. They've made 5 threes. They've assisted on 10 of those 12 buckets. out of the corner. Desperately
for the Bruins, who really shot the ball. Blocked right to Kobe Johnson. Hit the rim. Daly cleanup, no. Bounced out, and it's Hicks. And now Nick Curran.
Point-blank layup for Daly on the putback. Couldn't get it to go down. Good sign that Kern's back in the game, too. He went to the locker room in the first half.
DeMarco Dunn hits the three.
Puts over 20 points per game in productivity. That's not here tonight for the Nittany Lions. So they're just going to have to find new ways to be innovative and putting the ball in the hoop.
Well, you know they're not going to be scoreless all night. That we can 99.9% promise. Question is, when will that first bucket come? DeMarco Dunn into the lane. High degree of difficulty, and it's right there. 6 minutes.
Whenever he's trying to get the rock.
Baldwin, Fox trailing. Well, he blocked it with the emphasis, but a little bit too far.
Now you got to defend again.
Dunn back into the lane, and he got it over Fox's hand.
He was on one.
Yeah, no question. Last week's Big Ten Player of the Week. This week, Dawson Garcia. Although he has just 2 points tonight, DeMarco Dunn from Oregon. Playing a ton of minutes earlier in the year. Minnesota had some injuries, been on the bench. You don't score, Austin, in 4 weeks, and you get a bucket as you take one aggressively to the glass.
And an appropriate way to do so, again, getting downhill as opposed to the settling for a jump shot.
He is a perfect 4 for 4. The Gophers have their largest lead, and Dunn with a...
I told you I was right. Stick with the plan. Ultimately, it could be paid off here tonight.
State's got to go fast. They're down by 3 possessions. Back out to Dunn. Tough 3. Gets it to go.
Or do I jam the ball screen?
A strip and nearly a steal, but Kern wins it back for Penn State. Now Dunn open for 3.
Big. One in the glass, 35-19, but 7 of their 8 losses, they were out-rebounded. So it was a huge part when we talked to Coach Diebler today about what they needed to do. They needed to get on the glass. One of those games, they were tied up with Wisconsin, 31. So
that corner there from Nimari Burnett does just that. First 3-pointer of the game for him.
If you're Baldwin, you can maybe try to turn the corner, get something going to the rim here. No need to settle.
4 of 6 behind the arc. They do not settle on the 3-point play. He does not. Let's get back in that zone shot.
Yeah, and if you're Hicks, you don't want to set up shop there. You want to come from behind the defense. Not that exactly what DeLeon did there.
Also, Dunn hits the 3.
Well done by.
Oh, a brag, but and now 2 of 7. We want to show off a little. Yeah, it's 28%, I think. Here's Hicks. DeLeon. Now Dunn. And he got it.
Off the bench for Fran McCaffrey and onto the score sheet. Traore coming off a great game in the loss to Minnesota. 11.6 rebounds.
And the arrow is trending up for Traore. There's no question about it. Fran McCaffrey's very excited that is the case and wants to get this guy more minutes and opportunities.
Here's DeMarco Dunn in traffic. Largest city.
Feels like an important final 2 minutes here for the complexion of this thing.
Yes.
Iowa has really been solid, especially offensively.
Dunn cans the triple. Oh my goodness. There's an inbounds play that we talked about. Executed to perfection by Seydou Traore on the alley-oop.
Just beautiful. Great screening, good hard cutting.
DeMarco Dunn.
2.
Jordan Durkat can get to the rim. Very good athlete. High motor. Gets after it.
Rutgers started out up 6-0. They've had to lead up to 7 at 9-2. Right now up 4. Dunn, crossover. His second basket tonight.
Penn State, multiple opportunities and nothing doing. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Dunn on the other end will run it up and in. It's a high.
Fiddler just stays with that play, gets to the offensive boards, and maybe that Northwestern game kind of jumpstarts his offense.
Well, they'd love to see it happen. He got to the line so much last year in Omaha, shot the ball 36% from 3, but neither of those have really been going his way this year, especially from 3. Toeing the line for 3, and Dunn.
That we had seen them do it in the past.
Well, it all starts with that point guard play from Jeremy Fears.
He's been the head of the snake and certainly a very positive leader on a team that has a couple of those types of guys. DeMarco
skirt copyright law.
Yeah,
that's really
close.
Here's Dunn to track that one down. Spins inside. Dunn stayed under control. But if he does look like it came before the shot.
Yeah, right.
So the last hand would have been Kohler.
I thought maybe it could be some basketball justice. Now in replay, that's dangerous there.
Yes.
Dangerous game to play.
Dunn catch and shoot. How about
making plays at the rim? He's been really good off the bounce. He's been good in pick and roll. Top 40 offensive rating in all of college basketball.
And there's
Frankie Fiddler has done his work, dribble driving and getting all the way to the basket.
We were talking with Tom Izzo at the shooter on the practice before the game today, and he liked the matchup for Fiddler at the 4 in this game. And the 3 for DeMarco are looming. Interesting how both teams will attack the rims when Conan Niederhauser and Biddle are in the game today. Two the best rim protectors in the league. And Dunn goes right back to the rim. The zone has gotten stops.
And now Penn State trying to mix it up. Some man, some zone, keep working off balance.
Marco Dunn gives Penn State.
That played last season, and they were expecting another player to be a major contributor, and that was Ty Rodgers. But Rodgers, interestingly enough, guys, decided on his own to redshirt. Why? Because he really...
Go tip back out. How about another 3? And that one's off the mark. And this time Penn State does come down with it. It's DeLeon.
Even though Wyndham didn't hit that 3, I love that tap back by Luke Hunger.
Now Penn State looking to set things up offensively. DeLeon with the basketball. Ace Baldwin out with the pick. And flash to the basket. Now DeMarco Dunn. And Dunn was fouled and one. Now Hunger with it. Just trying to get the basketball out of his hands. Able to. Shot off the mark from Jalen Leach.
Leach is not going to get any looks that wide open tonight.
Here's Kern over to Ace Baldwin. Ace slips it through to DeLeon. DeLeon had to bobble and then gather.
Ace Baldwin has not taken a shot this evening.
Now with 8 on the shot clock, 3-pointer is. Barnheiser swings it, and now flashing toward the basket is Justin Mullins. Cannot get the reversal. Penn State can run if they'd like. Ace with his eyes up court. And they'll reset with 20 on the shot clock. Back to Ace. Slips it to Dunn. And Dunn with a 3 and a 2.
4th point of the game. Dunn thought about it. Now he's driving. And Dunn launches 3 and connects.
As well as a triple-double watch.
Nick Kern into the game. 7 straight games in double figures. A little zone defense for Coppin. Matchup 2-3 that is just disintegrates play. And that is rejected out of the sky. Kern in the open court. Dishes to Dunn, lays it up and in. Penn State. And certainly Coppin State firing up there at a historic rate will give Penn State more possessions at the offensive end. Dunn for 3. Got it.
Another 3.
Dillon should have given that up. P.J. Hayes was ahead of him. A simple bounce pass could have resulted in a layup.
Dunn with the reverse.
By Dylan Harper.
Penn State coming in 8-1, best start in a decade. Not a great start tonight. DeLeon. Guarded by Bailey. 10 to shoot. Dunn has a step and 2. Shot clock down to 7. Harper loses control. Baldwin up to Johnson. Had Kern open for a moment. Be big to get this lead down to single digits for the Nittany Lions. Baldwin, Kern, Dunn. 3.
Oh boy, what?
Marco Dunn re-attack.
Penn State doing a great job of using clock offensively.
And converting.
Shots that, or missing shots, you can't dictate how you play on the offense.
And Dunn steals it out of there. Takes it to the glass, lays it up and in. Dunn. And Penn State will now try to get numbers. Kern 1-on-4 to Dunn. Book it. Glass and good, beautiful.
Playing off of 2 feet, such a great take there by Batchelor.
Oh, Dunn, athletic to the cup. DeMar.
Enze can't complete the play, but Baldwin gets it back. Dunn tries for 3. Dunn around the world and in.
Hit a couple of threes thus far in the first trio of games. Trying to see if he can show the ability to stretch defenses. Tech as a team tonight, 5 of 15 from long range. 6 triples for the Nittany Lions. Under 10 of the time. Dunn going baseline. And Johnson
misses this time, but an offensive rebound for St. Francis. Talbert misses on the 3. Here's Dunn. Got it in the foul.
And fantastic recovery from Niederhauser, able to get that block before it touched the backboard.
It's down to 12. Dunn pulls up and connects.
A beautiful bounce.
Rosenberger gets it to Kelly for 3. That's off. And here comes DeMarco Dunn in Penn State. Dunn with a step for the 2.
On that ball and then leaks out for the dunk in transition. And this is where that fit comes in. With Mike Rhodes talking about these freshmen really fitting into what he wants to do and eager to play defense and make the right play out there.
Scored at will in their season openers. As we see the jumper fall out there from Marlon Short. UMBC, after a 95-point performance against Penn State York in their season opener, has just 3 points in the first 5 minutes of this game. And the Nittany Lions put up 108 on Binghamton in their season opener. DeMarco Dunn near the basket.
High level move from Niederhauser.
A couple of them now on defense. He disrupts Odunawo's path to the basket. Penn State up to a more comfortable lead as they have a 12-point advantage. DeMarco Dunn makes it 14.
3-point line. They're out by the logo. It's going to be a lot tougher for them to make plays at the basket.
Well, they scored a lot the other night, but it just won't work against this particular defense. Penn State put up 16 steals in their game against Binghamton. That's the most they had in the game in 4 years. It led to a lot of offense. 108 points, first time scoring 100 in regulation in 15 years. That's done off the window. They'll play St. Francis next in a few days. It'll be on Tuesday. And they'll play Virginia Tech immediately after that. So the non-conference schedule will pick up for Penn State at some point. Here's DeMarco Dunn for 3.
Maturing they needed to do. And they took it head on. They weren't shying away from it, and that's why they're performing so well tonight.
What is it about that first summer that makes it so difficult?
Triple as the shot clock expired. Now back into that 1-3-1 zone defense for the Bearcats. Dunn at the top. Evan Ash, the point man in the 1-3-1. Carter drives, kicks to Dunn. His three-pointer, he nails it. Niederhauser and Dunn both battling for that rebound. Now Dunn working. Takes the screen. Dribbles inside, lays it off the glass for two.
And he's getting right by the defenders, and now look at him. He's trying to go on the point.
Baldwin Jr. lines up a three, his first missed three. Back out to Dunn, his three-pointer, bang! It's back-to-back triples for Callahan Gold. Back in the 1-3-1 defense. Dunn drives all the way to the rim and finishes at the rack.